I don't know how much time I have, so I'm recording this now. If you're hearing it, it means I didn't make it back. Please, don't try to find me. I'd been unemployed for months when I found the ad, night security guard wanted for old psychiatric hospital. The building had been shut down for decades, but the city never demolished it. The pay was better than I expected, and all I had to do was sit in a control room and watch the security cameras. There was just one rule. Right before handing me the keys, my supervisor, a pale, tired-looking man, said, "After midnight, do not switch the feed to the basement." When I asked why, he stared at me for a long moment and just said, "Trust me. Don't." The first night was uneventful. The cameras showed empty hallways, peeling paint, and the occasional rat. Around midnight, I thought I saw movement in one of the third-floor corridors, a quick shadow darting past the lens. I rewound the footage. Nothing was there. On my second night, it happened again, only worse. At exactly midnight, the front entrance camera showed a woman. She stood completely still, facing the wall, her arms hanging limply at her sides. I blinked, and she was gone. I checked every camera. Nothing. By the third night, my curiosity was stronger than my fear. 1 minute after midnight, I broke the rule and switched the feed to the basement. The screen was almost pitch black. Almost, because in the center, barely lit, was a face. Pale, expressionless, with eyes so dark they seemed to absorb the light. It was staring directly into the lens. I quickly switched the feed back. A few seconds later, I heard rapid, heavy footsteps above me, directly over the control room. But the floor above had been sealed for years. The fourth night, I swore I wouldn't touch the basement camera. But right after midnight, the system began cycling through the feeds on its own. The basement feed came up again. The face was closer this time. The mouth began to move, forming words I couldn't hear. Then, God help me, I realized I could hear them. A wet, whispering voice was right in my ear, though the speakers were still off. I panicked and bolted for the exit. But no matter how far I ran, the corridors stretched on endlessly. The flickering lights made it hard to see, but I swear the shadows were moving against the walls. Every turn brought me back to the same place, the basement door. It was slightly open. Cold air poured out, carrying a rotten smell. The whispering was louder now. I pulled out my phone and started recording, maybe so someone would know what happened. The door swung open wider. Something moved in the darkness. And then I saw it. The face, no longer on a screen but inches away from mine. Its eyes were bottomless pits, and the mouth stretched too wide to be human. It said something again, but this time I understood. It called my name. That's when I realized it had been watching me since my first night. If you're listening to this, stay away from the asylum.